Hey everyone, welcome back to In the Alley. My name is Cody. Glad you guys are back for another video. Part 1 of our Week 17 Saturday recap is on tap. 3 games are earlier kickoffs, 1 at 6, 2 at 7, and then Part 2 will have our later kickoffs with 1 7 p.m. and then the 2 8 o'clock Western Conference games. But Part 1 right here, right now, let's go. Kicking off our Week 17 slate, Jacksonville and San Antonio renewing their rivalry from a previous league. It's going to be Austin Upshaw leaping for the wide open touchdown. However, Jacksonville will respawn here. It is Tyler Huff doing the play action, heaving it deep wide open. Marcus Rogers 42 yards to the house. Next drive for the Gunslingers, facing a 4th down and 4 here. Collazo sending his men in motion wide open, at least for the first down. Harper once more, he gets more touchdown at Gunslingers. Jacksonville responds back, though. Less than a minute to go in the first quarter. Wide open, Jaden Stoshak for the touchdown. Into the second quarter we go again. Collazo sending his men in motion and leaking out of the backfield. Wide open, Keyshawn Harper, and he has another receiving score. Sharks again respond here. It's going to be Tyler Huff taking it himself all the way in from 11 yards out as he busts through these tackles and into the end zone. The game is tied, but not for long. Dylan Barnes doing what Dylan Barnes does best, hitting a deuce to break the tie. And under a minute to go here, 21-19, Keyshawn Harper having one heck of a game here as he dives in for the score. On the ensuing kickoff, Jacksonville can't get it out of their end zone, try as they might, but it is a rouge for the Gunslingers. And then under 30 seconds to go here at midfield, Tyler Huff and company trying to get points before the half, and he's going to go down for a sack, get nothing. Jacksonville has a drive stall out. Barnes comes on for a 24-yard field goal. The kick is up. It is good, 26-24. But San Antonio will increase their lead, sending his men in motion. Collazo on the sidelines. It's a slant route for Cali Rashad as he gets in. Down by 9 with 3.5 to play in the third quarter. Tyler Huff is going to play action, throw this to the end zone. Riverius River says, nope, that is mine. And then under 11 minutes to play into the fourth quarter, it's going to be Larry McCammon breaking, shaking, and pushing the pile all the way across that goal line and in. 1 minute warning, 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. It is a screen pass to Cali Rashad, up and over and in for the Gunslingers. And then 50 seconds to play here, needing any sort of miracle. It just won't happen. Tyler Huff throws it right to the Gunslingers, intercepted 46-31, your final in Jacksonville. Let's head over to Des Moines where the Barnstormers and the Freight are getting it going. A drive stalls out for Iowa. Gabriel Rui is on for a 45-yard field goal, up and good. Fishers will answer, though. It is going to be JT Stokes on the motion handoff to the right side. He cuts up and in. Fishers up top. Under 10 to play in the first quarter. Ball at midfield. James Cahoon's going to throw this over the middle. Open is Caleb Hood. He's going to shake 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and score in for the touchdown. However, Fishers is going to get back into it, or maybe they won't. Felix Harper takes a little too much time, and he gets blindsided from behind. That sack won't matter. 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. Fishers and Felix are going to sneak this in to take the lead. However, the Fishers defense will pay Iowa back here. James Cahoon is just going to get bull rushed right up the middle for a loss. The sack won't phase Iowa just like it didn't phase Fishers. Cahoon stepping up in the pocket, wide open. Caleb Hood on the left sideline splits the defender's 21-yard touchdown grab. Fishers will answer in kind, though. Motion handoff for Dominic Roberto, cuts up inside. He's not down. He crosses the plane and in. 7.5 to play in the first half. 1st and goal. Just a nice little screen pitch out, up and over the defenders. Across the goal line goes Kean Williams. Fishers again, though. They will respawn right before the 1 minute warning. Felix Harper is going to take the snap, look to the left side, breaking away from his defender. Isaiah Coulter with a 6-yard touchdown score. Iowa makes it 1st and goal just a few seconds later. Cahoon over the middle, diving touchdown for Kean Williams from 5 yards out. Fishers again will respond here. 8 seconds to play. Final points of the first half to the left side again. This time Stokes over the wall for the touchdown. We venture into the second half now. 3rd and 7 for the Freight, and choo-choo goes the linebacker for the huge sack on Felix Harper. That sets up a Callum Sutherland field goal from 39 yards out. Snap down, kick is up. It is through the uprights. 38-29. Fishers leads. Iowa from the 5-yard line, and out of the backfield goes Raheem Harvey, bouncing off the wall and in from 5 yards out. Fishers again, they will respond here. 2-point game. They're going to extend that lead back to 9. JT Stokes on the motion, handoff up the middle and in. The lead is actually just 8 because of the missed extra point, so they need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Kean Williams will do the first half of it, getting in. And then here we go, potential deuce opportunity. It's going to be short. Gabriel Rui won't get it, and Josiah King says, you know what? I'm going to take this out of the end zone. I'm going to find a seam. I'm going to find some space, break this tackle. I'm going to take it 50 yards in for the touchdown on the kick return. After a turnover on downs, Fishers takes over. It's Felix Harper calling his own number, taking it in from 6 yards out to extend the lead, 58-42. Still time on the clock here. It's going to be Kean Williams over the middle and in, but they can't get the onside kick. 58-50. Fishers takes it. Final recap of the video. Massachusetts and Tulsa taking it on. Heavy playoff implications in this one, and Massachusetts is going to get the scoring started. Teal Redding over the wall for the 8-yard touchdown catch for the Pirates. And then Tulsa's turn to respond here. New quarterback Sam Castronova is going to drop back. Look over the middle. It is intercepted by Massachusetts. Going good. From good until great, it is going to be Massachusetts and Kenji Bahar sending his men in motion, taking the play action, looking into the end zone. It is Thomas Owens on a 17-yard touchdown catch. And then from great until not so great, Kenji Bahar is going to throw this over, intercepted by Cedarius Doss, and Tulsa has an opportunity to get some points. And get some points they will. 3rd and 8 for the Oilers. Castronova looking into the end zone, caught by Jerminic Smith for the 12-yard touchdown. Massachusetts will respond, though. It's going to be Kenji Bahar looking to the left side. Thomas Owens open again, 13 yards and in. And we go to the final points of the first half. It is going to be Sam Castronova just leaning over that goal line to score 21-14. And no scoring in the third quarter, but to start the fourth quarter, Castronova on another sneaking in. We are tied. 8 minutes to play, 3rd and goal from the 2. RPO keeper up the middle goes Kenji Bahar to break the tie. And we'll get tied once more. 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line to the left side goes Sheldon Augustine from 4 yards out and in. So here we go. 2 seconds left. Kick is up from 4th down. It is no good. We are headed to overtime in Tulsa. And for the first overtime, yes, first overtime is going to be Kenji Bahar looking to the left. He has no one on 4th down. Oilers ball. All Tulsa needs is a field goal here. Ross Moore lining it up from 4th down. Kick is up. It is blocked, and we head to a second overtime. In second overtime, Tulsa starts out with the ball first, bouncing, fumbling, doing whatever, but wide open Sheldon Augustine with another touchdown. This one huge. From the 15-yard line, it is going to be a bad low snap. Kenji Bahar can't corral it. He has to eat it. It is a huge loss. And then on 4th and 25, you just have to have a Hail Mary for this one. Bahar loads up. He heaves it deep. It is into the end zone, and it is knocked away. 35-28. Tulsa takes the victory at home. All right, so we have seen the touchdowns, tackles, turnovers, sacks, anything and everything included, highlights, lowlights, things along those lines. So let's take a look at the stats. Let's dive a little bit deeper, form some opinions, form some narratives, and things along those lines. And ultimately, this was a really, really fun game. So let's stop stalling and get right into it. We have a 46-31 upset. An upset. San Antonio goes into Jacksonville, revives that NAL rivalry, and they beat them. And beat them pretty convincingly. It was a pretty close game, especially after that first quarter. But, I mean, when you get into that second quarter and even into the second half, we'll talk about it here in a second, but the turnovers and everything that Jacksonville had, they just kind of shut them down, all things considered. Taking a look at the game leaders on the left side, Joaquin Collazo, 16 of 18, 148 yards, 6 touchdowns, and no picks. Keyshawn Harper, what a day for him, 19 carries, 72 yards, 1 touchdown. And Callie Rashad, 4 receptions, 43 yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns. For Jacksonville, Tyler Huff, 14 of 18, 179 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. He's your leading rusher, 8 carries for 26 yards and 1 touchdown. And Karan Ashley, 8 receptions, 76 yards, no touchdowns. Taking a look at the team stats on the right side, and I have to reiterate, I did take these stats, kind of formed my own, and so is this accurate? Maybe, maybe not, but we'll go from there. 7 for 9 from San Antonio, and I know I said in the preview, for San Antonio to pull this upset, they need to bring their A-plus game. It might have been an A, but man, Jacksonville, they kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit. 4 of 8 on 3rd down, so 50%, 2 for 3 on 4th down, and one of those, I believe, was that field goal. that they made down there at the bottom of the screen. But you take a look at the yard discrepancy, and a lot of it from the rushing game. San Antonio really locked into the rushing game and stopped Jacksonville to only 44 yards on 17 carries, 26 of those from Tyler Huff. So not a lot of rushing from anyone else on the team. Now, there could be some more discrepancies in that too. There could have been, McCammon rushing for a little bit, but just some lost yardage from him, from Huff, things along those lines. Only 44 yards on 17 carries, which that's not Jacksonville football, especially not this season with Tyler Huff rushing as well as he has so far. So just kind of caught off guard in that regard. Penalties, roughly the same, discrepancy of 2 total thrown and then 12 total yards of total penalty yardage. But ultimately, it was just San Antonio. They came out, they did exactly what they needed to do, and it was a nice little back and forth in that first quarter. Neither team made an extra point in that first quarter, and then it was just kind of San Antonio taking control. Taking a look at some of the notes that I have, very first kickoff, it hits an upright. San Antonio is able to get it, San Antonio able to start at their 1 yard line, so almost a rouge. Gunslingers run the ball, and they were running really well. Jacksonville's defense did not have an answer at all for this one, and Keyshawn Harper showing it right there on that stats. They were doing really well, and look at that with Joaquin Collazo, 16 of 18. They played so well in this one. One play, 1 touchdown. Tyler Huff hits Marcus Rogers for a 42-yard touchdown pass. Gunslingers answer back. Keyshawn Harper's playing really well early on here, catches a touchdown pass. And then back and forth, Jaden Stoshak, wide open. Sharks tie it right back up. We've missed 4 extra points. And then where has this San Antonio team been all season? Just right down the field, Harper with another touchdown. Sharks have a nice drive. Huff runs in for an 11-yard score. Barnes hits a deuce. Sharks actually take the lead, so Sharks were actually leading briefly there. Gunslingers, though, have a long drive. Harper just another huge game. He takes it in with under a minute to play, but another missed field goal. Gunslingers, though, they make up for it. They get a rouge. Sharks drive stalls out. Barnes misses a field goal before halftime. Jacksonville starts the second half. They take a lot of time, but it's just a Barnes field goal, and you wonder if that could have been a touchdown, how things could have been different. Because San Antonio goes right down the field after that. They tack on another touchdown. Khalil Rashad has the catch. Huff throws to the end zone. Ravarius Rivers shows why he was Defensive Player of the Year last year. Gunslingers capitalize on the turnover. It's Rashad with a 21-yard touchdown grab. Sharks and Huff they haven't run well tonight. They've just been kind of bottled up. Jacksonville took that personal because as soon as I typed that, it's enough for Larry McCammon to take a 7-yard touchdown rush. Gunslingers take their sweet time going downfield. They convert some third downs. Rashad has his 3rd straight touchdown. And then another missed extra point. I got nothing for it. I mean, just really bad kicking woes. Huff gets intercepted again, and that kind of does it. So, like I said, San Antonio just came out and kind of punched Jacksonville in the mouth. Jacksonville tried to respond, but at some point it was a little too late. And like I said, you wonder what would happen in that second half had, instead of Barnes kicking that field goal, if Jacksonville either went for it and converted. I'm not sure, but ultimately San Antonio just played a really, really good game. Jacksonville did not. There's not really many excuses you can come up with other than San Antonio brought their A game. Jacksonville couldn't defend it. So 46-31. Let's go check out our second recap. All right, we have seen the touchdowns, tackles, turnovers, sacks, anything and everything included, highlights and lowlights. So let's dive a little bit deeper, talk some stats, talk some narratives, form some opinions, try and figure out what these stats mean and kind of go from there. So without further ado, let's dive in. We have a 58-50 victory for the Fishers Freight on the road in Iowa, and Iowa just with 1 win, 2 games left to play. So we'll see what plays out in the final 2 weeks of the season. But this was another back and forth game. Fishers just made more plays. I mean, all things considered, this was a very back and forth game. Fishers just ended up making more plays, and that's really all you can say. I mean, Iowa played a very, very good game in this one, but Fishers just did what they needed to do. Taking a look at the team stats on the left side, Felix Harper, 16 of 11 for 98 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He is your leading rusher as well, 21 carries, 55 yards, and 2 touchdowns. JT Stokes, 4 receptions, 39 yards, and 1 touchdown. James Cahoon for the Barnstormers, 18 of 30 for 207 yards, 6 touchdowns, no picks. James Cahoon is your leading rusher, 7 carries for 14 yards and no touchdowns. And Caleb Hood, 6 receptions, 98 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. Which is insane because I think 90% of the time you've seen Keon Williams down there, your receiving yards leader, and tonight it's Caleb Hood, so what can you do? Taking a look at the team stats on the right side here, Iowa did themselves no favor, only going 1 for 4 on third down. But on fourth downs, they were able to be a little bit better. So the 3 that they missed on third, they did convert at least 2 of those on fourth down. Now, Fishers did not convert 3 third downs, but those that they didn't, they converted on fourth down. So in a quasi way, it is kind of 100% because you didn't get it on third down, but you did get it on fourth down. Taking a look at the total yards, roughly the same, and it is just the polar opposites. 98 passing yards, so under 100 for Fishers, but 141 rushing yards. They were running really well. They got Harper involved, Josiah King. They got Dominic Roberto, a couple wide receivers, things along those lines. For Iowa, just 9 rushing yards. And you look over at James Cahoon with 14 rushing yards. They had some guys rush for negative yards and really brought that down. 10 rushing attempts. Not the best day at the office, all things considered. Field goals, 1 for 1 and 1 for 2. Penalties, roughly the same. And believe it or not, no turnovers in this game from 2 teams towards the lower part of the standings. You figure there'd be some mistakes made. There were some penalties, but all things considered, no turnovers. And that's kind of insane to think about as well. Another thing to look at in this game is, the biggest thing for me is the rushing game for Fishers. They had Felix Harper go for 55 yards, Josiah King for 44 yards. They were just rushing really, really well. And then in the passing game, where Iowa really, thrived, Keon Williams did still have 3 receiving touchdowns, only 70 yards, so he didn't break 100. But other than him and Caleb Hood, just not a lot of involvement. DeMonte Martin, Raheem Harvey just couldn't necessarily get it going. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at. A couple of incompletions for Cahoon. What can you do? Let's take a look at some of the notes that I have written down here. We start the game with 3 straight incompletions, but Gabriel Rui hits a field goal for Iowa to start from 45 yards. Nice kick return for Fishers. They start on Iowa's side. Big run for King. Stokes off the right side, and he has the freight touchdown. 2 plays, Cahoon finds Caleb Hood. Hood battles defenders for a 25-yard touchdown. Fishers on their next drive, very methodical, going down the field. Harper sneaks it in from a yard. Big chunk pass plays. Cahoon hits Hood for another long touchdown. Felix Harper has a pass batted back to him. This is a fun play. I didn't put it in the highlights, but Felix Harper has a pass batted back to him. He catches his own pass and gets a first down out of it. Shades of Marcus Mariota. As a Chiefs fan, Marcus Mariota catching his own touchdown pass will haunt me, but it's kind of what it reminded me of. Fishers rushes into the end zone on the legs of Dominic Roberto. Freight, they take the lead back. Keon Williams with an amazing catch. He gets tackled at the 1, but he rushes it in for a touchdown. Freight able to convert some third downs. Harper hits Isaiah Coulter, so there's a Massachusetts connection for a 6-yard score. Quick response for Iowa. Hood with a nice catch. Keon Williams with the touchdown over the middle. And then Fisher scores before the half. Stokes goes over the boards, but holds on to it. Freight start the second half with a field goal. Penalties on Fishers help Iowa keep their drive alive. Harvey's wide open on the left side for that touchdown. And then we just have some scoring back and forth. Keon Williams takes over. Freight respond. Josiah King with a great kick return touchdown. Iowa, they just face a turnover on downs. Fishers can close this out, and I think that might have been the turning point in this one. Late into the game, Iowa gets into Fishers territory. Turnover on downs. Fishers takes over, and they make them pay. It's big runs by Josiah King and Harper. Caps it off with a 6-yard touchdown rush, and there was just no going back from it from there. Keon Williams has a touchdown. Fishers recovers the onside kick. They try to run out the clock, and they do. And that's where you leave it, 58-50. And that's all it is. It's just one drive for Iowa that forced a turnover on downs. Fishers took control of it, and they didn't look back. So again, it's kind of like the previous recap. There's really no excuses, no nothing. It was just Fishers was the better team. They made the more stops and everything along those lines. So that's where we have it for this one, 58-50. Fishers, they won't get to 500, but if they can close out their season, they could finish 7-9, which is not bad. Iowa, they're still with 1 win. They're the last team with 1 win. So spoiler alert for the second half of the recaps. But that's where we have it. Let's go take a look at our third and final recap. All right, we have seen the touchdowns, tackles, turnovers, sacks, highlights, and lowlights. We need to talk about this game, form some opinions, form some narratives. This was a fun one. This was a fun one. I'm not going to stall anymore. Stats over the face. Let's go. We have a 35-28 victory in favor of the Tulsa Oilers in double overtime. This was a doozy of a game, and now no playoffs were clinched in this one, but Tulsa inches ever so close to clinching their first playoff berth in franchise history. Very, very low scoring game, but we'll talk about that in 1 second. Let's take a look at our game leaders on the left side. Kenji Bahar, 12 of 20 for 125 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Puka Williams ran really well and not rewarded with a touchdown, but 23 carries, 83 yards, no touchdowns, at least rushing wise. I mean, he was still really good in this game. Thomas Owens, 4 catches, 54 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. And onto the Tulsa side, Sam Castronova, 11 of 24, 110 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. You can consider it some growing pains. Castronova, also your leading rusher, 16 carries, 42 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Sheldon Augustine, 7 catches, 72 yards, 2 receiving touchdowns, including the one in overtime. So, really good game for Tulsa to be able to come back. And, well, Massachusetts got out to an early lead. Tulsa able to kind of battle it back. They had that fourth quarter as well, so... Taking a look at the team stats, and we'll talk all about that in a minute. Taking a look at the team stats on the right side, and as I've reiterated in the other 2 recaps, I've taken these stats personally. So are they accurate? I don't know, but I think they're pretty close. So 13-12 for first downs. Both teams 50% on third downs. Not that good on fourth downs for either side. Now, some of those are missed field goals and things along those lines, but I digress. Total yards favor the Oilers. They did rush a little bit better than Massachusetts, but you have to consider that rushing stat for Massachusetts at 67 does include that huge botched fumble before the final play of the game. So that is a huge loss of yardage, and I include that in there because that's, it's the fall on it. That's a rush, so it's no different than a sack or anything along those lines. So yeah, that rushing stat could be a lot larger for Massachusetts to the point where they possibly could have been right up there with them in total yards. Passing was roughly the same. Neither team really passed the ball too well. It was all right, but it wasn't the worst thing. Each team threw 1 interception and 11 penalties. Massachusetts with quite a bit of penalty yards. Tulsa, not as many, but still quite a bit. So a lot of yellow in this game, and I'm not talking about Tulsa. So when we go look at the team notes and everything along those lines, another thing I want to point out here is Kenji Bahar had minus 13 rushing yards. I have that saved here too. And a lot of it, like I said, was that botched snap. Only 2 players rushed for Tulsa. It was Sam Castronova and Hassan Rogers. And then quite a bit of players had receptions in this one, but other than Sheldon Augustine, no one really stepped up for Tulsa. And then Thomas Owens and Puka Williams both kind of had some decent receiving yards. Other than that, not too much else for either side. Taking a look at some of the notes that I have written down, we have a nice kick return by Stephen McBride to start the game. Pirates take advantage of the short field. Touchdown fade route to T.O. Redding is caught over the boards. Tulsa turns it over on an interception. Mass scores a touchdown to Owens off of it. Oilers get to the Massachusetts 5, but they turn it over on downs. Pirates defense looks really good. Oilers defense looks good too. They pick off Kenji Bahar, followed by a Germanic Smith touchdown. Massachusetts runs with Puka Williams. Kenji Bahar throwing to Owens, and Owens has yet another score. Tulsa answers, moving down the field. Big catch by Augustine. Castronova sneaks it in. Drive stalls out for the Oilers to start the second half. Ross Moore misses a field goal. And then Pirates, they get down to the 5-yard line. Oilers stand tall on fourth down. Oilers ball. They need a touchdown to tie it. Penalties help Tulsa. They tie it up. They've got a lot of drama right now. There's no scoring in the third quarter. Pirates' next drive works down the field. Kenji Bahar takes it in himself to take the lead. Tulsa responds. It's a quick drive. They finish it off with Augustine catch, dive to tie it up. And then Massachusetts works to Tulsa territory. Gable misses the game-winning field goal. We head to overtime. Pirates possession stalls out. Kenji Bahar throws it. Incomplete. Tulsa needs a field goal to win it. Their field goal is blocked. We go to double overtime. Weird snap. I mean, you guys have seen the highlights here. Weird snap. Castronova finds a wide open Juju Augustine, and then bad snap from Massachusetts. They're behind the 8 ball. They have to eat, huge loss of yards, and then Hail Mary goes incomplete. Oilers win it in double overtime. I mean, there are definitely some things that I think both teams wish that they could have back. You'd look at Sam Castronova getting his first start for Tulsa. Kenji Bahar, as soon as I praised him, looked kind of off. The running game was all right for Massachusetts. They did run the ball really well until, some of that negative yards. Throwing the ball, I mean, Thomas Owens just continues to be a force this season. For Tulsa, Augustine and Castronova already have a connection. You wonder if you can build more of that in these final 2 weeks of the season to see if Tulsa can clinch that playoff berth, if you can get, Cole Blackman in there, if we can get Germanic Smith with some chemistry and stuff like that, which, if I'm not mistaken, let me go back to this really quick. I know I'm rambling here, but did Cole Blackman, I think he got hurt, if I'm not mistaken. He had 1 catch for 11 yards. I think he got hurt because I don't remember if he got back into the game after that catch, and I remember him being injured now that I'm thinking about it. So hopefully he's okay, but at the same time, if he's good to go for next week, that's just another weapon for Sam Castronova, and he didn't get to use that weapon all too well in this one. So 35-28 double overtime victory. Tulsa, they control their own destiny. Massachusetts needs a lot of help. They need to do it by winning, so we'll see how that goes. But with that, let's go take a look at our bets, and we'll get on out of here. No, we didn't win this one, and even the spread, if you would have taken plus 455 for San Antonio, you'd win some money. Chugga, 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 choo-choo, money time. It might have taken 2 overtimes, but we still get money. And that is it for our Week 17 Part 1 recap. Again, Part 2 will be out probably within the next day or two, and we go right into the Week 18 previews and stuff like that. We got to preview the Week 18 Friday night game between Massachusetts and Green Bay, so I'm hoping to get the second recap out before that, but if one comes out before the other, well, whatever. But that's where we have it. Playoffs really heating up. If you haven't seen the video pertaining to Week 18 and the playoff stuff, I have that. One of the top videos on the playlists or whatever. I don't bother to, whatever way you guys want to sort it on YouTube, I guess. But anyway, yeah, there's that for some clinching scenarios for quite a few teams. And there is a possibility, if everything goes in certain directions, that we could have the entire playoffs clinched, but not the seedings clinched by the end of this weekend. So we'll see how that goes, how games go like that, but I still have another recap to do, so be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for the previews as we just inch closer and closer towards the postseason. So with that, I'm going to take off here, guys. Love and appreciate every single one of you. If you feel the need to like, comment, share, subscribe, feedback is awesome. I love talking to you guys. Playoffs are really heating up, so fan bases are really starting to talk some S and really just kind of get after it. So with that, I'm going to take off here, guys. Got more stuff to take care of when it comes to the recaps, get the previews and everything squared away so we can have a fun Week 18 as we venture into the final week of the season and see who is making the playoffs, who is traveling to where, and who's going to hoist the trophy in a little over a month. So with that, I'm going to take off here, guys. Love and appreciate every single one of you. With that, see ya.